Well, joining me in the studio now is the global events and analyst, Marco Vicenzino. Marco, why is it so important for Ramadi to be recaptured?
Ramadi is the capital of Anbar province. Most of Anbar province is in the hand of Islamic State. It lies about 110 kilometers from the capital, Baghdad. So if IS retains control of Ramadi, it leaves an open road to Baghdad.
So it's getting a bit too close for comfort.
Exactly. It's not that it's questionable whether they can ever overtake Baghdad because of the force of the Shiite militias. But the fact is that they can threaten Baghdad, bomb Baghdad, overtake some of the communities surrounding Baghdad, which will create refugees and put pressure on the capital and some other parts of the country. So they're trying to regain that. Before the government takes control of Anbar province, again, in my opinion, it will take quite a bit of time if they ever able to retake it.
Tikrit took an awful long time. Why wouldn't Ramadi?
Yeah, exactly. Tikrit, they took over Tikrit, but Tikrit wasn't an easy task. Tikrit required the air power of the Americans, and it required the full support of the Shiite militias. The Iraqi regular army on its own would not have been able to take it.
But we've got those two elements already there. We've had something like 22 airstrikes, and several of them nearby Ramadi. We've also got these Shiite militia camped out very nearby. What makes Ramadi any easier to take?
The problem was that with Ramadi, for political reasons, when Tikrit fell, there was the fallout in terms of reports of Shiite militias looting in Tikrit. So for political reasons and not to prevent sectarian tensions from being further stoked, they were saying the idea was not to include the militias in Ramadi. Leave it to the Iraqi regular army, take out any remnants of any militias that may be there. When they did do that and IS struck Ramadi, the Iraqi army, similar to what was in Mosul in 2014, they simply just collapsed immediately. And lightning speed, IS forces went in, and that's exactly what happened to Ramadi. Now the fact is, now it's going to take Shiite militias 3,000 to 6,000, if not more, amassing on the outskirts of Ramadi to begin a takeover, to seize that city again.
Just push them out.
Yeah.
We're seeing sort of gains for IS in places like Ramadi. We're seeing what's happened in Palmyra. And yet we are seeing Shiite militia taking control, or at least making an impact in places like Baiji, 200 Iraqi forces being released over the last 24, 48 hours. Are we always going to see this little do-si-do situation where we get gains, then we lose some? Can IS spread themselves too thin, and that becomes a way to weaken them? Or are the coalition forces too weak?
I think right now, at the present time, when let's look at coalition forces per se, you have Iraqi regular military, the Iraqi army, and you have the Shiite forces. The Shiite forces, they tend to be very motivated, highly disciplined, and dedicated to their mission, and once again backed by Iran. On the other hand, you have Iraqi regular military that, before the Americans left at the end of 2011, before the American pullout, it was developing into a proper army over time. At the end of 2011, when the Americans left, from then until June of 2014, over a 3-year period, it became highly politicized by Nouri al-Maliki, and it's still paying the price for it.
And all of this likely to have a big impact, courtesy of Iran, over the next few weeks. Marco, we have to leave it there, but many thanks.
Thank you.